Hey everybody, it's Mitch, and welcome to my next video. Today, I've got another Dungeons & Dragons 3.5 Prestige class for you. And today, from the Complete Warrior, we have got the Spellsword. Alright, so we're going to talk about what the Spellsword is. We're going to talk about how you get into becoming a Spellsword. We're going to talk about what you get as a Spellsword. And finally, we're going to talk about how good they are and how you might use them in a build. So let's get started. Now, the Spellsword, it's pretty simple. They are someone that mixes the arcane with the arcane arts with martial combat. This is one of the first prestige classes to do that. I say one of because, I mean, there is the Eldritch Knight from the Dungeon Master's Guide, which definitely predates this. But this is, I think, the second one, if I recall. And they're certainly an interesting one. They do it in a different way, a way that's unique to other Gish builds. So yeah, let's just start talking about what it takes to get in. Once we start seeing what they get, then you'll start to understand a little bit. Because yeah, these guys, they blend the arcane arts and they actually wear armor. Like, that's one of the big things with these guys that other Gish builds don't have. Is actually, I think this is the first Gish build to actually have your caster in armor, because the Eldritch Knight was not an armor wearer. That was one of their downsides. So yeah, at least base. Like, there's plenty of ways now to make that work. But yeah, so let's talk about what it takes to get in. All right, so first off, base attack bonus +4. Pretty simple, straightforward. Knowledge Arcana, 6 ranks. Okay, not too terrible. Feats, you have to be proficient with all martial weapons and all light armor. And not all light armor, all armor, light, medium, and heavy. So yeah, pretty straightforward. A level of fighter will get you all that. Spells, able to cast second level arcane spells. Fairly simple, just going to take, 3 to 4 levels. And special. This one's interesting. You must have defeated a foe using force of arms only. No magic allowed. You have to have beaten an opponent using only martial prowess. So generally, you're going to want to take that first level in fighter in order to make sure you can hit that one. Because it's going to be a lot harder to do that if you take your fighter level later, because you're going to be fighting harder stuff, and it's going to be harder for that one level of fighter to really handle it. So yeah, it's better to do it early on when you can fight like CR1 appropriate monsters. Yeah, anyways, that's all it takes to get in. So let's talk about what you get as a Spellsword. So it's really, really interesting. It's got some stuff that's quite unique, and you don't see a lot of this. So you first off, you're going to get spell casting. So every single day, or not every single day, every odd level, including first, you're going to advance your spell casting class 1 level, as if you took a level in that, at least for purposes of spell casting. So that's great. And it's at all odd levels. Now, you also, starting at first level, and this is where you get the biggest jump in it, is you get to ignore spell failure, starting at 10%. So basically, if you're wearing armor, whatever your arcane spell failure is, it's effectively 10 less than that. The total. So between armor and shield. So if you have an armor and a shield, it's not 10 off of each. It's 10 off the total. So that can be kind of nice, especially, even with just 10, you can wear light armor and that has a 10 penalty and be fine. This will advance up to +30 by 9th level, and when it does, then you could wear like Mithril Full Plate and cast wizard spells. It's pretty impressive. I mean, the guy in the picture is wearing a full plate, it looks like. Yeah, that looks like full plate to me. And yeah, it's pretty crazy. So second level, they get a bonus feat. It can be either fighter bonus feat, or it can be, one of those meta magic feats that wizards get. It can't be item creation like a wizard's bonus feats, but that's fine. They get Channel Spell. So Channel Spell is interesting. A few other classes get this, but Channel Spell, basically it'll allow them to cast any spell as a swift action into their weapon. And then when they strike someone with that weapon, the spell will be cast onto that person. Um, and Yeah, that's kind of a nice little thing that it gets. Sorry, I had a little bit of an itch, but yeah, the spell will cast onto that person. So pretty nice that you can do that. Only takes a move action to cast. So a lot of things are standard actions. So you could move to channel the spell and then standard action attack and basically get the spell and an attack as a full round. Pretty decent option. You are limited pretty heavily on how many times a day you can do this. At most, I think it's, let's see, 5 times a day, which isn't great. So yeah. Let's see. Then you get multi-channel spell. You get that at 10th level, and that'll just let you do 2 of those at the same time. So for 2 move actions, you can put 2 spells on. And then you can cast them both at the same time. So that would be particularly useful if you were in a situation where, during one turn you could cast something as a move action, then the next turn use your move action for that turn, and then finally attack. So it takes a little bit of doing, but I mean, it's not terrible. It's not the end of the world. And it will eat up 2 uses using that, because 2 spells. So yeah, so that's really all there is to. That's really all they get. So let's talk about how good they are and how you might use them in a build. So a 1-level dip's actually not bad. That first level is actually quite good. I can't believe I forgot this. I forgot some really important things with what they get. So they get a D8 hit dice, which is pretty solid. Not quite as good as most martial builds, but at the same time, it's close and way better than a caster will get. And on top of that, it gets a good base attack, good fortitude, and good will save. It's the only bad save is the reflex. So that's actually a really strong chassis. One of the strongest I've seen. As for skills, it's only 2 plus int, and the list isn't the best, but the rest of the chassis is really, really strong for this build. For this prestige class. So at first level, you're getting a base attack bonus. Of course you're getting a base attack bonus, but you're getting your good base attack bonus. You're getting advancement in your spellcasting class. You're getting the ability to ignore 10% of arcane spell failure. All for just 1 level. So a 1-level dip in this is really, really solid. That first level is really good. Now the subsequent levels, less good, because you are only going to be advancing casting on the odd levels, but the even levels do tend to give channel spells, except for 2nd level, which just gets you a bonus feat, which isn't bad. Bonus feats can be quite nice, and it does include all fighter bonus feats, as well as all meta magic feats, which are the ones you'd probably want to take anyways. So it's actually got a really good bonus feat list. Let's see, channels, and then of course you get channel spell at 4th level, and then you'll be able to do it more at 6th level, and 8th level, and then at 10th level you'll get that. So I mean, there aren't any dead levels, so that's something that's kind of nice about it. But yeah, that first level, really solid. Definitely 1-level dip. Maybe go for 4 if you, or I guess 5 if you wanted to get channel spell, since the odd levels are really good for this class. If you wanted to go for channel spell, then you could go for all 10, or for multi-channel. That could have some uses. Under the right it's fairly situational, but under the right circumstances, you could, and the channel spells stay active for 8 hours, so you could charge like 2 spells in, and then like that first attack that you get at the start of combat is going to just automatically have 2 spells baked into it, which can do a pretty good amount of damage. That can be actually really, really nasty. Especially seeing as it can be literally any spell. And if you have like high spell casting, you could put like irresistible dance in there and strike them with your sword and boom, now they're dancing. So that could actually be really, really nice, especially seeing as that one doesn't even have a save. So yeah, definitely some uses for it. Yeah. Uh, Anyways, let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. If you enjoyed the video, consider giving it a like. I'd maybe subscribe to the channel for more D&D 3.5 content, because we do one of these on every class, race, and prestige class in Dungeons & Dragons 3.5. Anyways, and ring that notification bell so you never miss out on a video. Anyways, as always, I'm Mitch, and I'll be seeing you